Can we please drop the strong black woman narrative? It's
Why?
done. You don't have to be strong any longer, ladies. Be soft, be flowers, be dolls, be vulnerable, be taken care of. That strong black woman thing, it's a trick that they sell you so that they can load you with.
So hi everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, please don't leave without subscribing, and thank you again for watching. I do not think it is beneficial for the black woman to be labeled as a strong, independent black woman. I highly preach that young women should always be in a position where they can take care of themselves, where they are educated, where they are not solely dependent on a man or a woman to take care of them, to sustain them, to provide for them, and to validate them, to make them feel important or relevant in society. The idea of being strong and independent, meaning that okay, I have the capacity to do everything for myself. I want to do everything for myself. I do not need anyone. That is where I draw the line. Why would you want to do everything for yourself when you can have the assistance of somebody helping you? Society sometimes has tried to label the black woman as a strong black woman with the sole intention of pushing us in this kind of position where we do everything for ourselves, where you do not have any help, any assistance. But as a Christian young lady especially, I want to be in a position where I have a partner that we can both take care of each other, that we can both grow with each other. This whole idea of feminism, I do not find it attractive any at all. I do not find it to be empowering any at all, because the idea that women think that they are in competition with men, it is pretty unfortunate, because if only we knew the power that we have as women, we'd realize that you don't need to compete with a man. You're already empowered just being a woman. You're already winning just being a woman. And it kind of just shows that it's like, why are you competing for the spot of a man when you can win already as a woman? A woman is beautiful and a woman is brilliant in and of herself being a woman. You don't need to be a man to feel like you're winning in society or to feel like you're important. I believe that if we took the time to understand what our roles are, I think that is where the problem comes in, because we feel like we need to play the role of a man. And it is not necessary. Like, men can be men and women can be women, and we can win as women. We do not think that we have to win. We don't have to be a man to win. We do not have to do the things that a man does to win. Think about the whole concept of a body. All parts of the body are important. The heart is important and the brain is important. But it's just that they have two different functions, and that is important. If you find that the heart wants to do what the brain does, the body will crash. And if the brain ends up want to dismiss his role as the brain and want to go and function as a heart because he suddenly feels that the heart has a greater importance to the body than the brain, then the body will also crash. And this is how I believe that society crashes, when women want to play the role of men and men want to play the role of women, and we do not realize that each person just being themselves is important. Like, I have worked in the industry as a female engineer, and trust me, it has its fair challenges because you don't have a lot of female engineers. That is one. But at the same time, I think there are lots of benefits that I got out of just being a female engineer and learning how to leverage what I have. And not in a bad way, but just learning how to leverage what you have. If you use your wisdom and knowledge that God give you, and you make use of what you are, and you understand that, alright, I cannot necessarily do what a male does, but at the same time, how can I get certain things done? There are just certain things that are going to be more beneficial for a male, and certain things that are going to be more beneficial for a female. And take the time to understand yourself, what you bring, what the value is that you hold, instead of focusing on what a man is able to do, right? As a female, there are always limitations, but I think the good thing is to learn how to understand yourself and your potential and your capabilities, and to make use and maximize on what you can do, not what is your limitation, and focus on what what is holding you down and what is setting you back as a female, but learning to make use of what you can do as a female and to use it to the maximum potential. Like, don't get me wrong, I do believe that if you as a female you're working the same job as a male, then you should be compensated accordingly. But what I do not believe is that I am in a competition with any male. You do not need to be in a competition with any male. You do not need to basically be even treated like a man in order for you to feel validated as a woman. A woman is a woman, and we have different features, we have different attributes. As much as there are benefits to being a man, if you think about it, there are lots of benefits too in being a woman. There are like women privileges. There are privileges that male have, but there are also woman privileges, and so I feel like it kind of balances out itself. Even working in the industry, sometimes I would see that the males couldn't get certain things done and couldn't get like the cooperation of certain male workers. They work with a lot of male, and so even as a woman, it kind of even give you a leverage for that teamwork, because males naturally, they're gonna want to impress the female, so they're gonna like be more quick to say, okay, let me go and do this for her, let me go and do that. So even though you have limitations, there are also benefits. So even though as a female, yes, you're a female, you cannot necessarily do everything. I can, if I wanted to go and like unscrew something, probably I couldn't necessarily do it because I don't have the same strength as a male. But at the same time, the fact that I'm a female, I could ask somebody like, leave what you're doing there, come and assist me with this or whatever, and they would be glad to come and do it for a female. And so there is always room to make use of the whole idea of you being a female and not being a male. Look on the positive side, make use of the assets that you have. That doesn't mean that you're gonna be out there selling yourself for favors, or you're gonna be out there doing the most for favors or whatever. But look and take a positive outlook on the situation. Make use of what you have. Do not allow these setbacks to keep you boxed in or to restrain you from thinking that you cannot be as effective or even more effective than a male. The idea of being a strong and independent person shouldn't take away from the fact that you need help, and not like you're gonna be dependent on somebody. But I personally want to be in a position where I will build with somebody, where I can grow with somebody, I can provide help to somebody, and I can also be helped in return. And the fact that somebody is helping and you have somebody to build your family with, it doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you less of a person. The fact that you're a female, and it's not like you're gonna be solely dependent on somebody, but the fact that you're a female and you need help, it doesn't take away from you being a female. It doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you weaker.
I wrote a post that went viral in 2015 that said, please do not address me as a strong, independent Black woman. It's not a compliment. Because when you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. And at the Boston conference, I spoke and I said, in the audience, you were in the audience, and I said, I asked the fellas, if you had some luggage and you needed an animal to carry it, fellas, what animal would you think of? An elephant, right? Something strong. Why don't you think about a cat or a mouse? Because it can't handle it. So when we are looked at and walk around as strong, what we're putting out is, I do not need assistance. I don't need your help. So anytime a man says, oh, I love that you're so strong, I said, no, I'm not strong. I'm resilient. I'm not independent. I'm interdependent. Period. Because nobody ever comes to the aid of the strong person. For most of us, ask ourselves, who comes to our aid? Nobody. So when I'm around men, my wrists are broke.